Night falls over a quiet Maryland plantation. Crickets sing in the distance. The moon hides behind drifting clouds. A young woman crouches in the darkness, her heart pounding. She looks toward the north, the land of freedom. Every sound feels louder, every shadow feels alive. She whispers a prayer, grips a small bundle of cornmeal and dried meat, and runs. That woman was Harriet Tubman, the Moses of her people. Born into the brutal world of slavery, she would one day become one of the most fearless freedom fighters in American history, rescuing more than 300 enslaved men, women, and children through the Underground Railroad, a secret network of escape routes and safe houses leading to freedom. Harriet Tubman was born Araminta Ross around 1822 in Dorchester County, Maryland. Her parents, Harriet Green and Ben Ross, were enslaved, forced to live under the control of plantation owners who treated them as property, not people. From a young age, Harriet's life was marked by hardship. She was hired out to cruel masters who beat her for the smallest mistakes. At just 12 years old, she suffered a severe head injury when a slave overseer threw a heavy metal weight at another man, but it struck her instead. The blow nearly killed her and left her with lasting headaches and visions for the rest of her life. But Harriet saw those visions not as weakness. She believed they were divine signs, guiding her toward her purpose. As she grew older, Harriet married a free black man named John Tubman. Though he was free, Harriet was not, and she knew her children, if she had any, would also be born enslaved. The thought haunted her. In 1849, after years of abuse and fear of being sold deeper into the South, Harriet made the most dangerous decision of her life: to escape. Imagine the scene. One cold September night, with nothing but her faith and courage, she slipped away under the cover of darkness. She followed the North Star, walked through swamps and forests, and hid by day to avoid patrols. She journeyed over 90 miles until she crossed into Pennsylvania, free soil. When she finally stepped across that invisible line between slavery and freedom, she later said, "When I found I had crossed that line, I looked at my hands to see if I was the same person. There was such a glory over everything. I was free." But Harriet couldn't rest. Her freedom meant nothing while her family and others remained enslaved. Within a year, she returned to Maryland, risking her life to rescue her loved ones. This began her lifelong mission. Over the next decade, she made around 13 dangerous trips back into the South, leading hundreds of enslaved people to freedom through the Underground Railroad. She used clever tactics, disguises, songs, and secret signals. She carried a pistol, not out of violence, but to prevent anyone from turning back and risking the safety of the group. Her bravery earned her the nickname Moses, leading her people out of bondage just as the biblical prophet had done. Harriet once said, "I never ran my train off the track, and I never lost a passenger." That was true. Despite patrols, bounties on her head, and countless dangers, every person she guided reached freedom. When the American Civil War broke out, Harriet didn't stop fighting. She joined the Union Army, first as a nurse and cook, then as a spy and scout. In 1863, she helped lead the Combahee River Raid in South Carolina, which freed more than 700 enslaved people in a single night, the first woman to lead an armed military operation in the U.S. Harriet had transformed from a hunted fugitive into a hero of liberation, a living symbol of courage and justice. After the war, Harriet continued her mission of service. She settled in Auburn, New York, where she cared for her aging parents and later opened a home for the elderly and poor. Despite her immense contributions, she lived in poverty for much of her life. She never sought fame or fortune. Her reward was knowing that she had changed lives and made history. Harriet Tubman passed away in 1913 at around 91 years old. As she lay surrounded by family and friends, she uttered her final words, "I go to prepare a place for you." A train slowly moving north through misty forests, the symbol of freedom she once rode. Harriet Tubman's story is not just history. It's a reminder that courage can rise from the darkest places. She was born enslaved, denied education, beaten, and hunted. Yet, she rose above all of it to free others, driven by faith and fierce determination. Today, Her name stands among the greatest heroes of humanity, proof that one person's bravery can light the path for thousands. As Harriet once said, "Every great dream begins with a dreamer." Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars, to change the world. Fade out. The stars shine bright in the night sky, the same stars she once followed to freedom.